Hello everyone, today we will be going over the top 10 most popular characters in Genshin Impact. I will be focusing on information coming from a Chinese survey of over 120,000 participants, which cover the characters' usage in the 3.5 Abyss. This likely makes it the largest Genshin survey other than any official numbers which Hoyoverse have hidden away. Starting this list in number 10 is Alhaitham, who boasts a respectable 56.6% usage rate. Given he is quite a new character, it's only natural that people want to play with a character they just obtained. Though, it takes more than just being new to be a part of the top 10 most used characters. As, spoilers, Dehya doesn't even hit the top 20 most used characters. On the other hand, Alhaitham is a solid main DPS character who is able to provide huge damage in Hyperbloom and Spread teams, due to him having the highest on-field Dendro application, which helps him quickly feed reactions. As long as we continue to have good off-field supports for him, I would expect to see him be consistently popular alongside these characters. In number 9 is Kokomi, who has a 59.6% usage rate. She was once one of the most underwhelming and hated on characters during her initial release in version 2.1. Since then, the addition of the Ocean-Hued Clam set gave her extra damage to help supplement her kit, and allowed her to be far more useful than just her healing capabilities. Due to her good hydro application, she fits well in taser teams, and on top of this, she's found an additional home in Dendro, which has been amazing for her. To be more specific, it gave her extra use cases in Hyperbloom teams, making her quite useful for these in the foreseeable future. She's also not very complicated to use, so it provides her another potential reason for her popularity. Next, in number 8 is Zhongli, who has a 65.3% usage rate. There is no surprise that Zhongli is one of the most used characters in Genshin Impact. It's quite cheap to turn him into an invincibility ticket, as one of his best weapons is a 3-star weapon, the Black Tassel. Apart from that, all that's needed is the tenacity of the middle of the set, and for once, getting HP rolls on an artifact isn't so bad. Alternatively, he can be built for more damage, while fitting a similar role when wielding weapons such as the Staff of Homer or the Vortex Vanquisher. It should also be noted that his shield is not only good for just tanking damage, but it's also able to shred the physical and elemental resistance of opponents by 20%. This allows him to be an easy flex spot in many Genshin teams, and I expect this to continue throughout the future of the game. Claiming her deserving spot in number 7, Xiangling, with a nice 69.8% usage rate. Given that she is one of the free characters which everyone has access to for clearing Floor 3 Chamber 3 in the Spiral Abyss, it should come to no surprise that Xiangling is one of the most used characters. She is a powerful pyro applicator with no internal cooldown on her fidget spinners, meaning she can provide some of the highest off-field pyro application, which is invaluable for almost all vaporized teams. On top of this, one of her best weapons, the Catch, is totally free in the game, and can be gained over time via fishing objectives. In number 6, we have a crowd favorite character, Kazuha, who has a 71.1% usage rate. Kazuha is arguably the best Anemo character at this moment, and has generally replaced and been regarded to be a better Sucrose. This comes down to his large radius that can be infused with an element and provide huge AoE radius for elemental reactions to occur. It makes it a little more consistent than characters like Sucrose and Venti for that reason. They thrive a little more on crowd controlling and sucking them into a single area, which, depending on the enemy weight, can't always be done. Kazuha also fits into many top teams like National, Freeze, and Aggravate to name a few. He's also quite free to play friendly, with craftable weapon options like the Iron Sting being consistently available. And now we break into the top 5. In number 5 we have Xingqiu, who has a 71.5% usage rate. Although there isn't some evergreen way to earn Xingqiu other than the standard banner, he is one of the characters which most people have by now, potentially up to C6. Not only that, but the teams he has fitted into, he has been extremely effective in. Such teams may include National, Vaporize, and even Hyperbloom teams. Just give him a good emblem set with plenty of energy recharge, the Sacrificial Sword, and you're ready to go. He has consistently been one of the best characters since the launch of the game, and this hasn't changed even still years after the launch of the game. In number 4, we have Raiden Shogun with her 73.9% usage rate. Prior to when she came out, Electra was taken to be a joke element by many people in the community. Despite this, the Raiden Shogun has been a staple damage dealer and battery in many teams since her release. She works well in teams like Raiden National, Taser, or even to just be used as a hyper carry. And much like many other characters on this list, Raiden also received greater flexibility with the addition of Dendro, giving her more options in Hyper Bloom teams. She might not slot into teams as flexibly as characters like Zhongli, but with her vast variety of teams, it can be seen why she is one of Genshin's most popular characters. Claiming the number 3 spot with a 79.9% usage rate, we have Yelan. Yelan is one of the best characters in the game, and similarly to what Kazuha is to Sucrose, Yelan is generally a better Xingqiu. So, as an extension, she's a top contender in Vape and Dendro teams alike. Not much more to say than that, just a better version of an already cracked character. Taking the number 2 spot with an 82.1% usage rate, we have Nahida. Nahida is pretty much the closest we have so far to a must-pull character in the Dendro element. This is as she can fit into pretty much any type of Dendro team. Quicken, Bloom, Hyper Bloom, Burgeon, you name it, she fits into it. This not only comes down to her elemental skill, which can be used to mark up to 8 enemies in any direction, but her burst is essentially an upgrade to her elemental skill. And the only condition to her burst to gain some form of advantage is to have party members which already work in Dendro teams. In short, she fuels Dendro reactions and provides lots of damage to many linked enemies. Her universally good nature will likely keep her a staple in Dendro teams for years to come. But we can't talk about staple characters without addressing number 1. With a monster usage rate of 87.4%, we have Bennett. It should come to no surprise that Bennett claims number 1 here, as he is one of the most flexible characters and essential units to own. Despite not really being synergistic with any of the new Dendro teams, he has managed to keep and retain a place above all others. He fits into many popular teams like National and Vape teams to help with Pyro Resonance, or even just slots into many other teams as a single Pyro character to help buff and keep your characters alive. On top of that, he's one of the easiest characters to build with just some spare artifacts. It's pretty funny to think that one of the most ostracized characters lore-wise is one of the most sought-after characters in many teams gameplay-wise. Do keep in mind though that these ranks aren't exactly indicative of the power level of these characters, as usage rates come down to more than just sheer power output. If you do want to find out more information on the Abyss usage rates, feel free to look towards a Reddit post from user/soaps231, which is linked in the description. Keep in mind that this data is not official overall in-game data, so it's not indicative of the entire player base either, but due to the high volume of the survey, it provides a pretty nice overview of the popularity of certain characters in the Abyss. With that said, let me know if there were any characters you expected to see here which weren't here. And if you enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.